Hello and welcome to the campus of Rowan College, South Jersey, Cumberland, home of the Dukes. You're watching BFA Sports live coverage of Scout Day. Fall of 2021, the Dukes host the Salem County Mighty Oaks, and we are about to showcase some skill sets. Start out with the defense. We'll head over to the offense, and the final part of the day will be a scrimmage. So that's all coming up here on BFA, and we're going to start with the outfielders. They'll giddy up and they'll get ready to go. So get ready for baseball here from Vineland on BFA. We are ready to go and get started here in the outfield. Going up first will be number 3 for the Dukes.
Sorry to interrupt, guys. Yep.
All right. Hell, Wow, I'm multitasking here as the microphone's on. I look up, and wouldn't you know it, man, Mr. Royalty himself, Barton College's own Keith Gorman, the World Series RCSJ Dukes former coach, and we're ready to go as Mike Gizzardo. Speaking of royalty, how about this guy from Bishop Eustis?
Yeah, Mike's set for a big year this year. It's making strides in the weight room and trying to just get some flexibility in his game. Obviously, most know him as an infielder, but today he's trying to showcase some outfield abilities.
Yeah, Gizzardo, big arm, throws right with the sweet swinging left-handed bat. Definitely a guy, as I'm sitting here with J.D. DeYamka, guy that, Gizzardo, usually in a power position in the lineup, usually kind of a prototypical 4-5 guy.
Yeah, we're excited about him. Obviously, his offensive abilities have been well known for quite some time in our area. Was a power bat in a loaded Bishop Eustis lineup. So, like I said, we're pretty excited to see what comes out of this year. So, very excited.
Yeah, good athletic frame. This guy's been a corner infielder down in the high school ranks. Can play both first and third, certainly, but to see him here in the outfield.
Gizzardo, max velo.
All right, and that's 80 on the velo for Gizzardo. That's by design, so we're good to go there. And now stepping up is number 5 for the Dukes, and that is Ben Mayers.
Ben Mayers, high school quarterback, so he's got some ability, some leadership abilities that we're very excited about, and I think he's going to get some time behind the dish as well. Converted outfielder, and like I said, just high school quarterback comes with the territory, leadership, toughness, and team play.
Yeah, well, he's showing off that QB arm right there as he's throwing bullets on the money over to third base. Now we'll mix things up as we head home.
Funny story about Ben. He's got a twin brother, and he is enrolled up the road at RCSJ Gloucester. So they were basically, like I said, they're twin siblings, been on the same team for their entire lives.
Yeah.
And then when they make a college decision, they go to the same school but different campuses.
All right, so it's 83 for Ben Mayers, and now number 6 for the Dukes. Colin Cummins, another guy that we've seen play a little bit of corner infield as well.
Yeah, he just hasn't had been able to get his footing where he's going to be. So, like you said, you can see it there. We've got a need behind the dish, so he saw some time available there. So he's throwing his hat in the ring. But he's a utility guy by trade. See him here in the outfield. He played a little bit of left field for us last season, and we'll get some time at third base and second base as well.
Yeah, he seems to be a late innings guy, too, where seen him pop up, RBI opportunity, game on the line last spring. It seemed like he was often the guy that we were celebrating as water was being thrown around the field.
Yeah, like you said, he can hit. That's it was one of the reasons why he's here. But he's got to find his defensive footing in a specific position. So.
All right, so giving way now is Devin Koger out of Newman Goretti, a Coach Brian Ward recruit out of the other side of the river.
So yeah, Devin, we saw him work out at the Anderson Monarchs facility. I think it's technically called the Ryan Howard training facility.
There the Phillies RBI Academy.
Yep. So Coach Bandora there and Coach Joey Gorman kind of shared some names, and Devin popped up, and we followed up, and here he is. So Carpenter Cup player, quite not sure what is going to come of it, but he's a high academic student, and we're excited to have him.
Yeah, Coach Bandura and the famous Anderson Monarchs crew. He also coached the he was part of the guy that put the Taney Little League program together that won the Little League World Series back in 2014. So Nick Bonadonna, local product out of here, Cumberland County, just a few minutes away. The former Thunderbolt.
Yeah, we're excited about Nick. He can. You're going to see him on the mound later today, but he's got the athleticism to handle, either he plays third, center, right. So he's a little bit of a Swiss Army knife, and just an athletic kid that we're excited about. And he's got some good genes. Obviously, everybody knows his brother. But he's here to make a name for himself, and I think he's going to.
So you would think their last name was Thorpe.
Ramon's just a guy that every team really needs to have. He is a 4.0 student. Might not be physically up there with the rest of the team, but he supports them 100%, first in, last out type of guy, and we're happy to have him on our roster.
It seems to be he was the guy, by the way, that when he would get into some of these games last season, his teammates cheered the loudest for. He's that guy.
Yeah, he's, like I said, first in, last out. It was a trend on Twitter for a little bit about clean dugouts. He always made sure he was last out, making sure everything was in tip-top shape. He's that type of kid.
Number 20 for the Dukes on this gorgeous fall day on a beautiful campus.
I think that's Nate. Yep, there it is, Nate Figueroa. Athletic, kind of just walked into our office a few weeks ago and said, "Hey, I'm ready to play." Our assistant AD, Chris Lopez, is familiar with him, and he says he's going to have a shot to play some innings for us this year. So we'll see how it pans out.
Yeah. So Nate, also known as Nito. So I had an opportunity to coach him a couple years in his younger days. And All-Stars, and he was a staple in our outfield, holding down center field. Definitely a guy that has big-time IQ on the bases.
Right.
He loves getting on base and making pitchers nightmares, having to think about him.
Well, like I said, he's just one of those kids. I think every college has him where they kind of just pop up and say they play, and next thing you know, it's a pleasant surprise. So. Outfield was a little bit of a need for us this season, so when Nate popped in, said he was an outfielder, we figured he'd take a shot, and it's been a nice surprise.
All right, and one more ball there for Figueroa.
81 max velo, Nate.
So I think this is Andre Boyer.
Yeah, he is
Oakcrest.
He's a big dude.
So funny story with Andre. It was just so happened that Oakcrest was playing a bunch of teams that had players that we were interested in, and as you can see here, Andre is usually the biggest kid on the field. So naturally, our eyes gravitated towards him, and he's getting heavily recruited at the D2 level. Actually, personally, I first saw him at the Grange. So
okay.
He was playing for NJ Baseball. So that's where he kind of got on our radar. We kind of just tracked him. But like I said, we kind of just let the process, go through, and Andre was still available to us. So we happily took advantage.
A lot of pop in his bat. He's got easy power.
78 max velo.
Yeah, we hope it pans out. Obviously, he's got to play the other side, so he's got some development to do on the defensive end. But offensively, he's going to be fun to watch.
Aiden Dodge.
So yeah, Aiden had some struggles in high school. So I mean, that's what we're here for. So we'll see how it pans out. He can do a little bit of everything, but he kind of reminds me of myself, where he's a little bit undersized, and it's just a matter of whether or not Aiden wants to kind of overcome that. So we'll wait and see. You can see he's battling with guys like Andre out there and Nate, and he's still here. That's
yeah.
He's still here, so he's not backing down, which is something we want. On our team.
Everybody's development journey is on a different time frame, anyway.
Yep.
All right, so that's just he finally gets it, and that's a good thing. And glad to see he's taking advantage of being part of such an awesome program. As Jimmy Hallman from Washington Township takes the stage.
Yeah, we're excited about Jimmy. I personally have only seen him in the infield, so he wants to wants to take his licks over in the outfield, show some versatility. But we're excited. You know, the Washington Township baseball program is always a strong program. So to be able to get you know, a starter from their program is going to be a plus for us, and they're battlers. It's a tough conference to be in. So to play in that conference every day, you have no choice but to develop.
Very deep bench of talent, and a good place to find guys for sure in the South Jersey baseball landscape.
That's why we're excited. We're trying to figure out how to host this event. You know, we wanted to pick a team that would be open to it. Salem was one of our first calls, and Coach Holt said yes without even me finishing the sentence. So he's been around for decades, and you know, Salem's athletic department is always looking for new challenges and everything. So.
Yeah. All right, so that'll do it for the Dukes, and we'll welcome Salem County to the field from an outfielder standpoint. You're listening to J.D. Diamco, who joins me here in the booth of Rowan College, South Jersey, Cumberland, the athletic director. Guy wearing many hats, both literally and figuratively.
Yeah, this morning I was putting down the foul lines and kind of raking out, but Chris has been a huge help for us as well as our assistant AD. But no, this was my introduction to Cumberland, this field here. So you know, pretty excited to do that. So
We going doing all the outfielders? I think that's kind of the best plan if we can.
Chris.
Side real quick as we make sure we're all on the same page here. All right, so we're going to stick with the outfielders. We're going to move over to Salem County. The Mighty Oaks will show off their hose.
For what it's worth, their roster numbers were a little low last year, but you can see here he's got an army now. So great job by him and his staff getting this program together.
All right, now it looks like we're ready to go. Sean Smith is the first outfielder out of Pennsville. A lot of pressure on the coaches. Have to work that fungo, by the way.
Yeah, look, if you know what you're doing with the fungo, then there's no pressure. So, you know, as a fungo All-American myself, you know, I'm actually, biting my lip here, just watching some of these skills that are being portrayed out here.
So you're a fungo golfer by chance too? That's like a prevailing league.
If I did fungo golf, it would be absolutely unfair if I was a part of it. So I try to put my fungo clubs away for the time being, give these guys a chance to develop, and if needed, I'll come back like Jordan for the Wizards.
Just not the 45 Jordan, or are you wearing the 23?
23 Jordan.
Okay.
But when I come back, it's going to be better than the Wizards Jordan. So.
Well, I mean, if you're going to own part of the team at some point, you might as well play for them for a little bit of time, right?
Especially if you're disgusted. But it looks like Smith coming from Pennsville, which is a tremendous Group 1 school. Unfortunately, with Salem coming back into play, we used to be able to just go down there and grab some guys. But again, Coach Hull's building a nice little fence in Salem County. So Robert's here showing Coach Holt's recruiting length here coming from Hilton Head. And he's got some talent.
Well, it's just good to see this.
To stuff like what we're doing today. Being able to get these things on film, showing facilities, showing talent, showing the abilities of our coaches in the area. It's no slouch in this area.
So a little bit of uniqueness with some of the roster is when you're looking at some of their years, you're seeing like COVID freshmen. You see the freshman with the C next to it. It's like, wow, they got a lot of catchers. No. They're not a catcher. They're a COVID freshman.
It's been such a tricky path, managing these kids' eligibility with the parallel of their academic pathways as well. You got some freshmen that are basically a semester away from, at least from a community college, graduating with their associates, and they still have 3 or 4 years of eligibility left. So it's been tricky to handle how to manage the COVID years and such.
So Pablo Ortiz is a true freshman, not of the COVID variety, listed as the outfielder. And he is out of Kingsway. Talk about another baseball program in South Jersey on the rise.
Yep.
Coach Bill Alvaro out there. He's pretty pumped up and excited for the Dragons. They should be having another strong season. So to see Ortiz coming out of that program, definitely a guy that has some good baseball DNA.
Their athletics in general over there at Kingsway has kind of exploded a little bit. And so look, all these kids need a home, and we're just happy that obviously we've got a couple Kingsway guys. Coach Holt's got some Kingsway guys on his roster, so I'm glad that they're staying home. They could easily go over the bridge or go down south, but they're staying home. So,
yeah, outstanding is Nick Toms, another guy very familiar with out of Pennsville. He had quite the high school career down there, and
Nick to me is the one that got away, and I hope he watches this and hears that. We recruited Nick hard out of high school, but he chose the NCAA route, Division II, out of high school. And again, this is why it's important for all of our schools in Region 19 to be strong. Is previously when Salem wasn't there, those guys would either call us, Gloucester, or Camden. And you see, he's from Pennsville. He'd be driving hours to and from for practices and games. So just a really good job by Coach Holt to get him and to keep him home.
And so here's a guy that looks like he's come a long way. Ahmad Edwards out of Tatnall County High School in Georgia.
Yeah, Ahmad hurt us a few times last season. He peppered the non-existent batter's eye over there one game. So hopefully some of these coaches here that came early to see the showcase portion take note, because he's a player, and I think right now he could probably start on some teams. Obviously all of these kids here got some development, have some development to do, but Ahmad right now could be in somebody's lineup this year.
That's 85.
All right, and he's showing off the big arm, maxing out at 85 miles an hour, is number 31, Aiden Warlow. He's an outfielder at the Glassboro High School.
Glassboro, as of recently, have had really good years. So on roster for Salem are the Tongue brothers.
I was going to say, most people are familiar with the Tongue brothers.
They worked us pretty good last season. And then they've had a couple other guys play at the NCAA level. So it's just, it just goes to the development, the change of development with South Jersey baseball and the focus on it.
Yeah, I mean, those are guys now that this Glassboro program, it's, they're usually known for football. That's their thing.
Max 73.
But when you start getting these two-sport athletes out and you get them out on the baseball field, good things tend to happen.
Absolutely. Like I said, it's just been a shift in South Jersey with kids now focusing a little more on baseball, limiting their multi-sport goals and going strictly baseball.
Yeah, son, put it back. All right, so the big man with the big stick is Teddy Moose, and he's another guy I think that's stung you a few times in
Yeah,
play on the
there's a
field.
little bit of a trend that you can see with some of these guys, and the Cumberland Salem games this past season. Oh, heads up, coach. A couple of the games this season between Cumberland and Salem were nip tuck, and in some of those situations we didn't want this guy up. But Ted Moose is I hope again just another name that they have on roster that most guys better highlight or whatever their system is.
And Xavier Jones out of Hodgson Votech takes the field. Yeah, I think one of the recurring themes for both these teams that I'm seeing, man, these guys all look to be in great shape. So I think if there was any kind of holdover from the COVID things, that these guys figured out a way to get some extra workouts in.
Yeah, we at least in the middle of the pandemic, we couldn't get into a gym, and I think that hurt us last season late, where guys were just breaking down. We just renovated our fitness center on campus. We were going to Inspira, the pit, just down the road, and then we were going to Vineland Performance Center with Danny Carignato, and it was just we just didn't have a home. So for us to have a facility on campus makes it a lot easier, and Salem's got a great setup as well.
So number 39, bit of a mystery player. We'll have to get in an update there.
Gotcha.
It is kind of funny. Like we were saying this morning, to see this amount of players out of two local colleges on the field at the same time, it's impressive. I mean, it's really impressive. You think about the depth in all these programs. So, and I'm no surprise we ended up maybe missing one here in number 39.
Yeah, it just goes to show both of our programs are sought after. You think about where Salem is located. They only have about 5 local high schools, and most would say, oh, that's not a place where I would go. And this kind of tells you a different story. Same thing with Cumberland. When I first got here, it was a place that no one thought could have a winning program, strong program, and we're fortunate enough to develop it to where it is today. Not saying it's super special, but kids want to come here. So it's
success breeds
fun.
success.
Exactly.
And birds of a feather fly together. A couple cliches for you. All right, well, here's what's not cliche. We are done with the outfield. We're going to move things around and head to the infield. We'll step away. Be right back from Vineland. All right, we are back and headed to the infielders. here with Rowan College of South Jersey with Coach J.D. DeYamko, also the athletic director. I'm Doug Stasic. And, Coach, we're going one with everything, starting with Casey Vaughn.
Yes, sir. Casey Vaughn, one of my favorite players. Just smooth, switch hitting infielder. Played third last year, short, second, ended up as being our starting shortstop. So pretty excited at his prospects.
Yeah, I can speak firsthand. He's a guy that he, as you can see, the hustle is definitely there, but he covers some ground. He's been a lockdown defender.
Yeah, he's just has to turn it up a little bit offensively, but defensively he's what you want. I'm not going to put a level on him, but he can probably play all three levels. But if you need a ringer at a golf outing, he's also a guy for you. He was a high school golfer, and he tells me all the time, when are we playing 18? When are we playing 9? So, but yeah, he's everything you want in a starting shortstop.
Real weights. No, take that down. You might just have to assign the right tab.
80. Vaughn.
All right, and where I got to make a little bit of an adjustment on the weight here, as I think Vaughn's listed at 225.
Far from it.
So
maybe, unless he had weights around his hips there. Yeah.
all right, so this is Jack Peacock, standout performer from the state champion St. Augustine Hermits.
Yeah, we're excited for Jack. Obviously, he's got some pedigree with his older brother Jerry, and I think his Mr. Peacock is a legend in Monroe Township. So, he's a pro with how he goes about his business. He's not going to light up any charts, but he's going to make all the plays. He's going to get the knocks when you need him. He's going to put a bunt down. He's going to make the right read on the bases. So, we're excited for Jack to see how he competes against the rest of the infielders.
All right, and number 6 is Colin Cummins. We've seen him in the outfield, and now we're going to see him in the infield.
So this is where Colin's most natural. He did come to us as an infielder, so again he's got to compete against some really top talent in the infield. That this is where we're the deepest with our infield. So he's going to have to compete.
All right, and the product out of Camden Catholic.
First Camden Catholic Irish that we've had
Really?
on our campus. Yeah, always a tough place for us to recruit out there. There's so many options for these kids. So, we'll see how it pans out.
So Irv Bogan, local product out of Millville, transfer from George Washington. Quite the find for the program.
Yeah, funny story. This happened. Our assistant AD Chris Lopez was working out, and Irv walks in. He was in the middle of the semester, and Chris was like, "What are you doing here?" So Irv is just looking for a restart, like most of the transfers are. So we're excited to see how he pans out. His grades are right where they need to be. So obviously he can do it at the Division I level. He's done it already. And he's looking for, a quick, easy bounce back, which I think he's got the ability to do it. Now, he's got to do it in the classroom, obviously, but baseball-wise, he is what you want.
So Irv Bogan at 86 miles an hour and flashed that 6.6 60 speed.
So
now Kevin Marone. He is not just a fantastic player, staple in the Dukes lineup, but he is an absolute tough as nails kind of player.
He's a monster. I love this kid. And look, you can see it's our deepest position. We had Casey to start. You just saw Irv, saw Colin, Jack, and now you got Kevin Marone. So, and Kevin, he's getting a lot of attention right now from a lot of the guys that are here, and it's going to continue.
Oh.
So, the kid's ultra athletic. He is, I'll use the word cocky, but in a good sense. He thinks he can do everything at any time, anywhere, and that's the guy that I love to have on our team.
And he just flashed some of that leather there. So he did a nice job on the backhand. As Egg Harbor Township's David Apollonia, he jumps in, and Apollonia, a true freshman and one that packs some power in his bat.
Yeah, we're excited. We saw him actually at the Last Dance in Ocean City, where I think he lit it up. I think he went 4 for 4, 2 doubles. We thought, maybe it was just a flash in the pan, but we kept tracking him, and he just kept doing it game after game after game. And he was an early commit, and he never shied away from that. He stuck with us, even though, in the spring he blew up even more so. But we're excited for him. And again, look at this infield that we've got. That's why we're excited, because these guys are going to compete against each other, which will only make every single one of them better.
Apollonia too. Bit of a he's one of those guys that I know is younger. I remember seeing him work out quite a bit. He was kind of a bit of a late bloomer on a physical standpoint, so I think it's a great move that he's taking this step before he goes on to the next level.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he kind of just he blew up at the Last Dance tournament, which was in the middle of pandemic. Couldn't really get in front of the recruiters, so he didn't try to force himself in. So I think it's the best move for him, and I'm glad he stuck with it instead of trying to hop on the first offer he got.
All right, now Jimmy Hallman, another guy. I've seen him in the outfield, the infield, big frame.
Yep,
for Hallman.
Classic corner infielder, Jimmy.
All right. So we're going to flip over to first base. Corner infielders are going to have these guys, looks like, I'm guessing, throw to second base and then over to third. Actually, go to third. Doesn't look like we have anybody at second, so all throws are going to third on this one. And first fielder we have over at first base,
I think it's Mike Gazzardo.
is Gazzardo again, number 3.
So this is where Mike really has to develop. Last year he did get beat out for the starting job, ended up being the DH. But in my opinion, for him to land on a roster, he needs to get first base locked down this year. I think this is Jimmy Kurtz, local guy. Started his career at Mercer, and he's here with us this fall.
Jimmy Kurtz, great addition to the staff. He's kind of like Optimus Prime from a Transformer standpoint. Kid blew up. He's like 6'3", 225 pounds at this point, and he just he's a physical specimen. So the Dukes infield, they're gonna head to the dugout for a quick hydration, give way to the Mighty Oaks of Salem County, as they now too will get ready to throw the ball across. As we give them a little bit of direction, get them out of your shot. Well, that's a lot of green.
Tell you what, if there's an issue today with the dugouts clearing, we got some problems. I don't think that's going to happen, but if it does, we got problems.
All right, so looks like we're going to start right out of the gate here with number 1, Noel Olivaria.
So Noel looks like me when I was trying out at St. Joe's, just trying to get high energy, despite the stature, just trying to stand out somehow, some way. And,
Hey, Coach, you got to move your infielders left, please. Sorry, it's live streaming at its best, but yeah, I'm like one of those guys. You got like the sneakerheads. Yeah. I'm a video angle head. Get out of my shot.
All good. But Noel looked good there. So we'll see how that pans out for him.
All right, so Zach Carlton now, another guy out of Georgia. So is this Coach Holt? He spends a lot of time fishing, or what's going on? He's got another Georgia guy.
In conversation with Coach Holt previously, he does have some travel ball connects down there, which always helps. So sometimes to kind of build your program, you got to go outside of your area, and here's a great example of that.
Primetime play there by Zach Carlton.
Max 72.
Yeah, if he's not on some list after today, I'll be surprised.
All right, so you mentioned the Tongue brothers, and here's Drew out of Glassboro, 6 foot, 170 pounds.
Yeah, the Tongue brothers were on the list. We went out to go see them play. I believe it was a sectional championship against Buna.
Mm-hmm.
And the Tongue brothers were all over the place. Whenever something happened, they were in the middle of it. And, you want those guys on your roster, competitors. So Drew's definitely one of them.
Max 75.
And now Andre Claudio out of Glasgow.
I hope that's Delaware and not, was that Germany or
I
Poland?
I would think
Yeah,
I would think it's Delaware. I mean, they're
we're
right
gonna
near
need
the
some help,
right near
but,
the Delaware Memorial Bridge.
We
so.
did have a few basketball players from the Glasgow area, but it's just guys looking for a home. And without Salem there, these kids, Delaware Tech is the only junior college in the state of Delaware. So it's either there, you go to Maryland, or you've got some trouble. So that, again, credit to the college itself bringing athletics back, baseball back, giving these kids a home.
I'll tell you, man, could not have picked a better day to do this.
Yeah, I was just, we were talking about it before. Last fall, we had, an irrigation issue along with rain, and Chris and I were out here at like 4:30 in the morning trying to get this field in shape. And so there was a lake out at shortstop that we had to take care of. But glad we're here, and I'm glad that Coach Holt and his crew are here as well. This is going to be a fun day, I think.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of great baseball to be played. We're going to showcase the arms during the game, so we'll have our money shot out from the elevated center field. And this is something too. You talk about an investment of where you want to play a ball and what your program kind of brings to the table. You and I had talked last year about, okay, well, what are some of the things we can do? So we wanted to bring the live streaming component to it, which was great. But then I kind of threw out a challenge to you, and I said, hey, if we could get some elevated platforms, it would be even better. And sure enough, we were able to do something as I don't want to call it small, it's significant.
Yeah.
But it certainly, I think, has helped put the program on the map, because even some of the recruits have kind of come to you and, hey, are you going to be live streaming games?
It's a blessing and a curse. I'll start with the curse. Teams show up, see the scaffolding, and they say, hey, where is this being broadcasted? What channel? What YouTube channel? And on days where you guys can't come out here, we've got some in-house abilities to stream, and it's a letdown. So that's the curse. The blessing, though, is, again, a big part of that was Mr. Quinn.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Quinn was a big proponent of having these set up so that you guys can come out here and do your magic. So, it's really enhanced what we can do at this park, is having those scaffoldings out.
Yeah, it's been fantastic, because from a baseball perspective, trying to build bridges is what we all pride ourselves on, in a common vision and common mission, which really is what today is about, right? It's like, hey, well, what's the next opportunity? What's the next step? All these guys getting a chance, as you see Coomer get a chance to showcase his defense, but now they get to cut up video, send it to prospective coaches, and it's about finding your fit, not about the T-shirt you're wearing.
Exactly. I think that a really big part of this, and hopefully some of these kids take advantage of it, is I recognize some names that you've already streamed at the travel level. Mm-hmm. So it's able to, they can go back onto your YouTube channel, kind of, like you said, cut up some video and say, hey, this was me in 2019, and this is me in 21. And you can kind of see the development, and, hey, I'm going to be playing a college season this year, going through the classes, practices, that commitment. And so that's something special that I hope we can continue into next year.
100% looking forward to it, and a lot of great support from the local community here in Cumberland too.
Huge.
And that's what's really kind of enabled us to be able to do a little bit more together, and looking forward to even more of it ahead. So Phil Sedalis, talk about a familiar name up there in Deptford. Not only does he stand at stalking 6'3", 195 pounds, but it's got an impressive 3.68 GPA.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's familiar. Every big moment that Salem had, he was at the dish, he's somebody that I believe Coach Holt is excited for. Played a lot of innings for them last year, and hopefully continues, just not against us.
Gotta love it.
Yeah, not against us.
Mark Cathcart, the right-handed pitcher, third baseman out of William Penn. Big-looking dude, 6 foot, 225 pounds.
He's moving around well. Doesn't look like your prototypical infielder, but Looks like he plays the corners for the Oaks, and looks like he can move well. Yeah, I just like to publicly state that Kevin Marone is a clown. And if anyone is looking for a circus act, we have his contact information.
Yeah, I think Barnum and Bailey is still living in Florida.
Bingo.
It'd be good.
And I think he wants to go south, so that's a huge plus for him.
All right, well, Ryan Dipper out of Gateway.
Dual guy. Did the job on the mound. I think he was Coach Holt's setup guy. I might be wrong. Don't quote me on that, but in games against us, he was the guy coming in before in the 8th or 6th, whatever the setup was there for that match.
All right, and the big Moose, Teddy Moose, out of Eastern, showing off his versatility as well.
I'll tell you what, I might be mistaken. I think he looks
slim.
Yeah, looks a little trim this year, which goes to his dedication to where he wants to go. So, again, needs to be on lists.
Number 55 is Demetrius Williams out of Glassboro. So again, Coach Holt spent some time in Glassboro, seems like. All right, so I guess we're going to head over to the catchers now. Men behind the mask. Got a lot of guys geared up. Yep. Certainly looking forward to this one as I got a soft spot. So we're going to move our cameras into position, and to avoid motion sickness, we'll step away. We'll be right back from Vineland. All right, we're back with the catchers, ready to go here in Cumberland. Just need you to tell our, you can tell us who we got going on, so we get the graphic up on the screen. And we got Matt Shepard. And we are ready to go. 2 throws to first, 2 throws to second, followed by 2 throws to third. And number 10 is Matt Shepard, sophomore out of Bonner Prendergast.
So Shep is a special player for us. Probably the toughest guy on our roster. But he is highly sought after. Just has to get his academics in line, and we'll be good.
Line up your shot for first.
And what I mean by academics in line, we want him to graduate. We don't want him to fall short or anything like that. It'll hold back his scholarship money. But he is heavily sought after.
And you can certainly see why.
Just ultra athletic.
Yeah.
Can make throws from every angle. Sometimes when he does drop down to pick guys off at first, it's not not something that we really encourage, but he's athletic enough to make those throws.
All right, and looks like we're going to head now 2 throws down to second base. All right, and got to get Marco Rios.
Lock. Can you tell Marco what do you want on the right side?
Actually, he's fine. We got the one in the front.
Okay, never mind. You're good.
All right, so Coach Marco Carolla making sure we got all the bases covered here. So we're kind of moving things on the fly as Shepard gets to be the test pilot.
Yeah. He can handle it. He can handle it. He's fine. But you can see how he moves behind the dish, his flexibility. The guy actually played a little bit of second to start in some outfield before he won the starting job behind the dish. So
got a cannon for an arm, 85 on the throwing velo, and now that gives way to.
So this is Ben Myers.
Number 5, Ben Myers.
Just like I said, just another kid that kind of saw some playing time available behind the dish and took it. So again, high school quarterback, willing to do what it takes to win a ball game, and he stepped up here, and I'm excited to see how he develops moving forward.
All right, now we've got a couple throws going down to first base. We need to get an RCSJ ball bucket for you.
Hey, I'm not going to stop you from getting it for us. But we will. We will eventually. Supply chain issues.
Yeah, there you go.
Supply chain issues. That's actually why we don't have our RC hats yet. October 22, they're going to come in. So.
It's been amazing how some of the supply chain issues really are. I mean, that's no joke.
Yeah.
There's Myers showing off the cannon here. So you got the front side and the back side. It's actually a BFA first. We haven't done forward and reverse at the same time.
Bingo.
So this is kind of cool.
You can see there's some things that Ben's got to work on from behind the dish. Again, it's a new position for him, and you just got to get a little shorter of an arm circle. But again, high school quarterback, he's going to figure it out, and I'm going to keep hammering that all day. But he's athletic enough, strong enough to handle that.
All right, so the Dukes catchers move to the side, and now it's time for the guys in the Mighty Oaks. And we'll just need some assistance here with the numbers as with the equipment. It's kind of hard. They're covered up. Hey, catch number.
6.
All right, so this is going to be Ethan Gill.
Coach Rios,
Start
can you
things.
just let him know to announce their numbers as they come up?
And
I
again,
don't know them by face.
you kind of get the unfiltered live stream view. Is basically that's the difference between recording and live streaming. See, live streaming you can't stop.
Yeah.
You just react. Give me your number, and that's Ethan Gill.
Well, I just remember when I was going through this process, we had the numbers that you had to pin to your shirt, and you just turned around. But those days are long gone.
Yeah.
Hey, when you guys set up BP, no turtle. All right, because we're gonna have the camera on you guys. So that the big screen that you put in front of first, that goes behind. So here's another Kingsway guy. That again, Coach Alvaro's got it going on over there.
Max 76. There's numbers 15.
All right, and number 15 is Cody MacArthur, the catcher out of Glassboro.
Seeing a trend?
I'm telling you. I mean, he likes to hang out at Glassboro. He must be at the Landmark a lot or something.
We'll ask him afterwards. We'll drop his name next time we're in there and see what happens. But you can just see, we mentioned it earlier, Glassboro's program getting stronger every year, and you could just, they're out here. They're playing college baseball, so which is a privilege to a very small percentage amount of players. So, and it looks like he can do the job back here. Looks like athletic lower half. And right on cue.
Man,
Just throws it like.
Yeah.
But now it always helps. You see the number of catchers that Coach Holt has. Always helps to have this number of catchers.
All right, number 16 is Dakota Rowan. He's a big dude, 6'3", 215 pounds, hailing out of McIntosh, Georgia.
Yep. So Dakota had some big knocks for Coach Holt last season. Looking to see how he developed this year and see if he could do some damage in Region 19, which I fully expect him to do. So you can see he's got the size, got the strength, and hopefully he puts it all together this year. And again, just not against us. Ooh. Good thing we didn't have the rap soda on that one for Coach Holt.
He's right on the money there on the bag.
You hear his teammates, they're excited for him. It just goes to show that he's probably a big part of this team's leadership group. And, like I said, I think we mentioned this last weekend. I don't know too many bad programs that have catchers that aren't leaders.
Number 82.
So it's just a direct correlation of how your team operates when you got good leadership
Catcher's
behind the
number
dish.
20.
So pretty nice arm showing there by Rowan too, 82 miles an hour. And now number 20, Matt Rowntree out of GCIT takes his reps.
GCIT Cheetah. Athletics over there has grown over the past few years. So, again, it just helps all the area colleges, not just the junior colleges, but obviously schools like Rowan, Rutgers, Camden, TCNJ, Stockton, that the high schools continue to develop, each year where, you don't have to keep going to the same schools, keep going to the same wells. You can see a game with GCIT in it and know that you're probably going to walk out with a prospect on your list. But just looking out, just taking a quick panoramic of our field right now, this is why we wanted to have a combined scout day, with the showcases. When the coaches arrive,
Max number 76.
you've got close to 70 to 85 players here that want to move on. Every single one of these players want to move on, and part of growing and playing in NCAA or NEIA or wherever is wanting to do it. So you've got 100% of players here that want to move on.
One of those is Robert Crespo out of Penns Grove, 5'7", 195 pounds.
Here's the one thing I'll say about all the catchers, at least all of them, have been relatively near the bag. A lot of times when you get into this setting, you try to overdo it just to get the quickest pop time or the quickest velo. Of course, right there, airmail. But they've all relatively been around the bag, and that's what you want as a catcher, to at least give your defense the ability to make a play.
Max number 75.
So some nice throws there by Crespo, and that'll end the defensive portion of this morning's festivities. We have a separate stream coming up for hitting. So, again, you can watch this back as much as you need. But for now, we'll step away for a few minutes, get ready for hitting, and we'll be back from Rowan College of South Jersey here in Cumberland.